Hello, everybody, and welcome to the post-conference discussion for Xbox/Bethesda E3 2021. I'm Darby Holden.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
And across the internet, we have... just introduce both of yourselves. Both of you fine gentlemen, just introduce yourselves.
Brent, you can go first.
Hi, I'm Brent Gillahan. What is up, guys? I am a PlayStation fanboy. I'm looking forward to talking about Xbox.
Brutally honest.
And I'm Holden Depardo. I am also excited to talk about Xbox.
Well, I'm not. Screw it.
Fuck Xbox. Get the shit
At
out
least
of
he's
here.
honest.
No, I'm very excited. We just got through this, 90-minute? 2 hour? What was it?
A little under 90
90
minutes.
90 minute
Yeah.
Xbox Bethesda showcase plus a few other third parties stuff. Just overall, let's just start from the top. Just in general, what did we think about the showcase? Did it, like the first Xbox and Bethesda merger showcase post-COVID, lots of weird stuff going on. I mean, what did we think about how this lived up to expectations?
I think it was a fine event, but it wasn't. I think that we're still waiting on a lot of the other stuff Microsoft is working on, but it was overall a good event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was what it needed to be. Honestly, like it wasn't amazing, but it's one of those off years for Xbox where a lot of people are working on a lot of things. And then a lot of third parties have their own conferences. So it was what it needed to be. They showed off a lot of Bethesda stuff. Halo, they talked about Gears a little bit in passing. So it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm. I really liked it. I think partly because I had my expectations in check from the actual Xbox Game Studios side of things. Like I didn't really expect Hellblade or Fable or that kind of stuff or anything out. But what we did get from them, like Starfield and Redfall from the Bethesda side and stuff, those are coming next year as of right now. Outer Worlds 2 seems to, if I'm not mistaken, the only one where they did the whole, okay, this is way far away.
Yeah.
But even that's kind of a smaller scale thing to what they've done the recent, so that was fine. As far as third-party stuff, I definitely feel like there was less the big giant AAA third-party stuff than maybe we were thinking, or what they've done in the past. But I do like how they focused on what it looked like quality smaller games that are coming to Game Pass. Like I feel like even if they weren't the big ones, we kept on thinking, at least one of us for a lot of the games, like, oh, this actually looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
having real quick, I think having Bethesda in the conference saved Xbox a lot.
I think
they
it
had a
helps,
lot
for
more
sure.
to talk about.
Yeah, and Bethesda actually had like a good amount of stuff to show. Like this would have been one of those years where it would have probably felt like the Bethesda conference was slightly more worth it or whatever, even if they had their own. They actually had a decent amount of show this year. And yeah, I generally think the conference I think did what it needed to do, and like Xbox is like very. They're putting all their chips on Game Pass, and that like being their business model. And I think this, just like most of their showcases recently, is like a very, very big like seller for Game Pass to just show everything you're getting. I think in the grand scheme of just like E3 hype or whatever, I don't think this is going to be one of the ones that we like remember for like, oh, when that happened, like, oh shit, or whatever. I don't think there's really anything in here that's like going to be like that iconic moment. But again, I mean, that type of stuff is not ultimately really what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell these games. I mean, I think for what Xbox was trying to do, I think this does that. And I agree with Jeff that from the Xbox Game Studio side, I've always recently been on the side that I think people are like, we have to start seeing all these games from these studios they bought. And I'm like, we're probably fucking not going to, because they all just released games. Like, it's just unfortunate timing for Xbox, but it's just not going to happen that way. And so I had my expectations set there. I think I am a little let down on the third party side of things. I agree with you. I think the games they showed were nice, but I think it was, even when you think back to the last few Xbox things, like there were moments, there were like there were cool small stuff, but then there was even you would jump for, so like shit like that. There were like weird unexpected things, and I don't really feel like I got that from this conference.
I think it's a difference in philosophy compared to this, because they've done this before. I don't know if it was their, it wasn't their last E3. I don't know, one of their showcases they've done in the last couple of years where it's like, not necessarily doing the third parties that are going to be multi-platform, but like all these games that we're going to show are going to be on Game Pass. It wasn't completely that, but it was kind of more of that compared to the last couple of E3 conferences from them.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just trying to think of the big things. I mean, I do think it's nice to have a date attached to Starfield, and I think the trailer was the trailer did more to like it kind of, I mean, it was kind of like just a vibe trailer, and it definitely seems like it's more of a grounded space thing and less of like crazy aliens everywhere, even though I'm sure something's gonna be there, but it's at least like seems more grounded. So we got that. It's not like we got nothing for Starfield going forward, but still, for me, the thing that Starfield needs to do is again prove that Bethesda is not an outdated RPG studio, which to me they are. I mean, to me, Cyberpunk and other studios have kind of started to eat their lunch ever since Skyrim. Like I think like Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 and things like that, I think just are instantly outdated the moment they came out. And I think I need to see Starfield in action before like I have that solved for me, you know? So like still feel like I'm not there with Starfield personally.
It's hard to feel anything about Starfield because the trailer doesn't tell us anything about the game. I don't know about the moment to moment. I don't know about the story or anything like that from that teaser trailer. So I kind of feel like they didn't even have to show it at that point.
I feel like
I disagree heavily. I think that for me, I'm getting the vibe of Starfield more than I was with the logo, and I'm starting to like Darby saying, like he's feeling like it's more grounded and stuff like that. Like that is something we now know from Starfield that we didn't before. Like I get, we're not getting a lot of gameplay, but I think it's still enough to be like, okay, I'm starting to kind of get what Starfield is. I'm looking forward to with sometime between 11/11/22 and now we're gonna get gameplay and it's gonna happen. We're gonna see what it is. So for now, I think it holds me over.
Yeah, I think what they showed is fine considering the date. If you asked me like a week or two ago, I would say, oh, we are definitely going to see Starfield gameplay because I was of the mindset that it was going to come out late this year, early next year. Now that we know that's not the case and it's late next year, like, okay, what they showed was fine. They had plenty of chances to show it off.
Yeah. I mean, I think the big difference is like, I would feel the same way you do, Brent. And I do feel for other things if I just felt like I was at a better place for Bethesda Game Studios, but just like me personally, like I was like huge into Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and I just feel like as time went on, I just felt like the industry was like passing them by. So it's like if I was already at a default place where I was just really excited for whatever Bethesda did, then I'd be like, yeah, give me the vibe tone piece. But I feel like I need more of a selling point before I'm like chilling over money for it, just because. Like I said, I mean, the biggest thing was just Fallout 4 versus like Witcher 3. I was like, okay, y'all are like really outdated right now at this point. For me, that's just how I felt.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I'm also thinking they're now under Xbox, so I get they've been working on Starfield for a long time. They can't just like delete a big basis of the game. But I do think Xbox is there to have some like quality control on it. So I'm a little optimistic on what that could bring.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why I still don't feel like I know much about Starfield is that trailer. Yeah, it kind of shows this kind of more grounded world, but that's also the same kind of presentation that they've given to most of their games when they announce them. Fallout 76 had this like dark, brooding world. Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 both had this like kind of dark, brooding world in the initial trailers they showed off, and then they show the gameplay, and it's a little bit more lighthearted, it's a little kookier. So the trailers are always kind of that grounded look. So I'm kind of like, okay, they're pitching it exactly like they always do, but there's going to be a kookiness and all that to the game, and I don't know what that looks like. So I kind of feel like I don't really know what the game looks like yet. And that's just where I'm at least.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, again, like Jeff said, I think it's far enough out that it's not like egregious or anything. It's just that like I feel like my hype cycle can't start yet. I haven't been permission to haven't been given like the reason to be hyped yet. Not that it can't get there. I mean, whenever we do see it, I think I am open for it. And there was a part like Bethesda is probably one of the studios I've played the most hours of game from so in my life. So
I wouldn't say I'm excited or I'm hyped, but I'm still optimistically looking to see like what happens next. But no, I do feel that. I wasn't even excited for Ubisoft's conference like yesterday, and I would say Ubisoft I've played the most games from with Assassin's Creed, so I get you.
Mario plus Rabbids is all you need from that conference, baby.
Dude, I haven't even watched it yet, to be honest.
Well, Holden, what did you think about Stalker 2? Because I know you said you were pretty interested in that.
Yeah, I like the Metro games from the first one to Exodus. And I've never played Stalker before, but I know that the original one inspired the kind of feel and atmosphere of Metro. So I'm excited to see that. And based on the footage we did see, it does look like it is kind of that same atmosphere as Metro. So I'm very excited to see it. I definitely need to get an Xbox Series X now, honestly, just because of that game. I don't want to miss out on that game.
Yeah, that all looked very visually impressive, even if probably not nice.
Just grab Series S or whatever, or X, whatever, and grab Game Pass, and you're golden.
No, seriously, yeah. It feels like from this event, like every month we are going to get something pretty substantial or interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lots of Game Pass stuff. We have to talk about the Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jax.
That was hype.
I was surprised by how hyped that made me. I mean, it's not like I haven't even seen a Pirates of the Caribbean movie in like so long or whatever, but like I think we all have nostalgia for them at some point. We're all at the age where we do.
I think those movies are awesome. I feel bad because like it does suck a little bit to be like, oh, this game is so bad they need to bring in a licensed like property for me to be excited about it. But I just think those worlds like mesh together so well, and having to fight Davy Jones just seems awesome.
Oh, that seems like such a natural fit. I mean, you're immediately, and the fact that like I thought it was gonna be like, okay, Jack Sparrow's in there, you get some skins. I'm like, okay, cute, neat, and it's like, oh no, we're doing like there's an entire
story
campaign.
No, that's great. Like you were saying, Dari, that gets me more excited to us potentially jump back in and at least do that and may explore some other content.
Yeah, and I don't even think like looking at it in they had to get this IP for people to care about is the right way to look at it, because like
the game's very successful on its own.
Well, and for any of these like games as service things, you gotta keep people coming back, and especially when you have just like because people are not tuning into Sea of Thieves for like the Sea of Thieves story. It's like it has a really fun pirate mechanic, so it's like take that and add whatever makes it fun. It should be like, if that's an IP, whatever, just whatever.
I got it.
Because that's perfect. It's like this is like probably better than a Pirates of the Caribbean game potentially. Yes. I mean, because this is like,
mechanically speaking, yeah, definitely. One Piece.
Get out of here!
Oh god, no! Don't do it.
Cease this.
Give it to me.
Please don't. I don't need that.
Wait, One Piece in Sea of Thieves?
Yes.
No
pirates, man.
So do you think the Sea of Thieves thing is just gonna be like you're playing normal Sea of Thieves, you just have an objective that goes to the next thing, or do you think this is gonna go into like how story? I'm just trying to think of like what this campaign looks like in Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves itself is just so open and broad.
I didn't pay it because we've only played a limited amount of Sea of Thieves and stuff, and I would have to watch it again. Like I don't know how many of those locations like the actual locations that aren't out in the sea are unique to it. So it could be you're transported to a different map or something, or once you do it, just the server or whatever. Just Pirates of the Caribbean stuff starts happening and characters pop up.
Yeah.
Imagine you talk to an NPC or something and it just starts one way or the other.
Moses, One Piece is not in Sea of Thieves. Jeff is just a crazy person.
I am a crazy person.
Dreaming about
Give it to me.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna jump into the Sea of Thieves thing.
For sure.
I'll have Game Pass, so why not?
So excited.
Yeah. So, so something real quick. Contraband. Not much to talk about that game, but it's Avalanche Studios. I think there are multiple of them. Just to make it clear, this is the Just Cause studio.
Okay. Yeah, I know Avalanche. Yeah.
I mean,
so it is a new IP.
It is a new IP that is going to be Xbox. I think they said it is working with Xbox Game Studios.
That definitely felt like a trailer for like an established IP that you're supposed to be hyped.
I think the excited part was supposed to be the Avalanche Studios for those fans more than anything.
Yeah, not much to go off of there. But Brent, sir,
Yo.
Battlefield 2042. Look, hype.
Dude.
Dude.
What were you gonna say?
I'm just saying, like, that looked really cool, didn't it?
Yeah, man, I am beyond excited for this. A little bummed there's no campaign because Battlefield 3's campaign was fantastic and 4 was good, 1 was great, and then 5 was pretty good. But just based off of the multiplayer, this seems like probably the best Battlefield multiplayer, like full stop. This looks fantastic. What they were going for, like 120 players or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was about to
Dude,
say, like,
because-
in that environment, in that map, like, I don't know enough about, like, the modern battlefields. Does this look like it's going, like there's a lot more going on in this one?
Yeah, like they did show off kind of like the weather system and a lot of things like Jeff was talking about, like hopping on another plane and things like that. You could do some pretty like blockbuster movie type things in the other Battlefields, but this really does look like it's taking that and like stepping it up to the next level, which seems amazing. And I need this game right now.
But it seems like it's probably smart to lean more into the just raw video game fun and lean less into it has to be a serious, gritty, like, historical thing. Because it seems like, I think what the thing that people had the most fun with is, like, doing crazy, weird stuff with all the mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah, and Battlefield 1 definitely was awesome, and most Battlefield fans loved that. But going back to the roots of, like, all right, go destroy huge skyscrapers and, like, be on, like, jet planes and things like that, like, that's cool. And, like, being a COD fanboy, like, there is, like, this weird... Well, as being a COD fanboy as well, because I do love Battlefield, there is this weird, like, feud between the two, but they always do different things, which I've always found weird. Because COD is a simple, like, oh, 6v6, just go in these 3-lane maps and just, you know, shoot people. And Battlefield is like, no, you guys are at war. There's, like, a bunch of people in this map. You're at war. You just go destroy things. So, 2042 looks like it's doing so much more of that, and I am beyond stoked.
Well, the fact that this will be in Game Pass with EA Play eventually, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
I don't know how long after does that already happen or something. Or is it
Something I
not?
want to say like 6 months or something.
Okay,
I might be.
yeah.
That's not,
Yeah.
we can look that up and bring up on a
The
podcast
EA
later.
usually gives, like, at launch, it gives you like 10 hours. Well, I don't know if they're doing it on a
Yeah.
console. On a PC, they give you like 10 hours.
Well,
for
that's what
free,
we'd be
and then
playing
you
it
buy
on. So.
Yeah, yeah.
it.
I'm
And later
interested
on,
enough.
like
I just
6 months later, they'll give you the game.
Yeah, I just feel like I probably wouldn't play it enough to justify it. But I'm like, I have a lot of respect for, like, that crazy giant war battlefield with like 100 people. It's just a very cool concept.
Game of the year, baby. Let's go. Just kidding. That's Resident Evil Village.
Fuck yeah.
Nah, it's actually Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's
Dude,
I
I
haven't
want to
played
play
it yet,
so
so-
bad.
I've only played 2 hours of it, and yeah, I mean,
Sorry, you played
pretty
2
damn-
games.
It's pretty damn good. I mean,
Yeah,
what?
that was the
I'm
game
just,
of the year.
I'm just saying the game's good. I'm not even saying, like, I mean, yes,
Fucking fun.
obviously it's my
Fucking
game of
fun.
the year, but I'm just saying the game's good.
I want to play it so bad, man. I need that game.
Yeah, you do need that game. It's fucking incredible.
12
I'll leave
minutes
it at
coming
that.
in August.
I need to put my gaming schedule together. It's going to be jam packed.
Yeah, I just feel like
Has
there's
that
been a lot of
always
games that have
been-
said August.
Has that always been Xbox exclusive? Or at least
They
limited
they
exclusive?
announced it as console launch exclusive right away, and it'd be on Game Pass. But I think it's gonna be on PC as well.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that's new or not, though. If you'd already known that, because that seems like it's a good get. That's going to be a good game.
What
Yeah,
game
yeah.
are we talking about?
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
That feels somewhat bad for 12 minutes. I just feel like it could get the more people, being tied to just Xbox on console kind of sucks. Like,
It
On Game Pass
depends.
too. I think the cloud was there too. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It could reach people who normally wouldn't buy it but would experiment with it.
I mean, the Game Pass side of that's great, but like, I wish for this game it could be on Switch and PlayStation. Like.
Yeah.
But I mean, we didn't really see that much new. I think it was more just a release date.
No, I
and
think
everything
that's
like
all
that,
stuff
but
we've
it's
seen
like-
because we don't need to see any more of that game.
I mean,
They're
I'm
setting it up.
excited that it actually has a date because it just feels like that game keeps getting pushed back, even if it's not, even if they don't say it is. It just feels like it must have been, pushed back several times. So, Yeah, I do feel like a lot of games have been announced for August and September. I can't even think of what they are right at the top of my head, but I know there's
Strange, Tales of Arise, Psychonauts 2.
Let's just go with that. Psychonauts 2, baby.
Let's fucking go. I like the trailer with the way they did the trailer for this because there's a lot of stuff that they've already shown, but it's like the wackier stuff to get people who may not be as engaged into like, okay, this looks really cool and wacky and fun and stuff. But for people like me who've been following it, it's not really much like showing off a new world.
I think that was the best trailer I've seen from just it was condensed, but there was a lot in it or whatever. And I think that again, maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like that's the first time I've seen it. And I'm like, oh, this kind of looks like a modern game. I mean, no shade on it before or whatever, but it always looked like a lower budget kind of like a game that could have come out 5 or 6 years ago.
That is definitely fair because it was a lower budget game,
yes.
but because of the acquisition 2 years ago, they're literally like, okay, we're delaying this a bunch to
it
make
looks
it better.
more better than what I would think.
Yeah.
An extra year would, like I don't know. Maybe it just looked really good in those. I mean, whenever they zoom in on character models, I think it obviously shows like some of its budget more. But whenever you have like those worlds, they look very dense.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I am not playing it this month. I can't remember who just said yes on that bet, but sorry. But August 25th, let's go. Day 1. We in there.
Is there any chance that's not Jeff's game of the year? I'm very interested.
We will see. We will see.
Oh gosh.
But everyone should at least try out Psychonauts if they have Game Pass.
Yeah, I need to play it at some point.
Yeah, I guess
Is the
the
original on Game
PS2 port
Pass?
on PS4.
They just
and
added
play
it. Also, just like on, I think like Steam and stuff, it's always like $2 or something around that range. It's always really cheap at this point.
Damn.
Yeah,
So-
I got it for really cheap on PS4, like the PS2 port.
Okay, so warning, I haven't played it. But apparently, that port's just like really bad. I'm gonna warn you
Really?
right here. Yeah.
It probably wouldn't bother me. I'm never a guy to care about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Brent, is this Fallout 76 expansion going to bring you back to Fallout 76?
For sure. I need to go back and play Steel Dawn because I played a good bit of it. But, dude, Fallout 76 is really improved, in my opinion. And
That's awesome.
I get people still don't like the core gameplay, and that's fair. But if your main criticism was, like, there was nothing to do and, like, the characters and stuff were bland, I really implore you to go back and play, like, Steel Dawn and Wastelanders. They have improved so much and made that game really fun, especially play with some of your friends, and it's a blast.
That's all.
So it seems like
I'll be
they're-
the first to admit that I don't give it a fair shake. It's not like I've actually like explored it into like the changes. Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like they're actually putting in a cool story with like, because the Brotherhood came in Steel Dawn, so now in Steel Rain they're looking at. I guess it's looking like someone's defecting from the Brotherhood and they're trying to like do some crazy stuff, and it seems cool. Like they're actually putting like an arc throughout these like free expansions. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Party animals.
I'm excited.
Oh,
You
well, it
guys
looks
were excited
great.
about that one.
Yeah.
It looks great. I mean, it looks like Gang Beast, but like it looks like a Gang Beast sequel as far as like the amount of new stuff in it. I guess like we should see if it actually is the Gang Beast depth.
I'm checking it up
It
now.
looks literally exactly like it, but it's Gang Beast, but like with items and all this other stuff. It just looks like a lot of like, it looks like what you would expect out of like a sequel from it. And it looks very fun. It sounds like Brent has played it, but Holden, you should definitely play Game Beast with us or play this game with us because it's a very fun party game.
It'll be on Game Pass.
It's just
Yeah.
chaos, but it looks very fun.
I'm blanking. What's the dev name for it?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I know is I'm pretty sure this is not it.
Weird. That is like the physics look identical.
Indeed. 100%.
Somerville, apparently not Playdead's new
No.
game, but
it
is
looks
made
so
from
much like Playdead.
It's a Playdead co-founder is
which
part of the
makes it
studio,
looks like it, yeah.
and either way. And
Oh yeah.
coming out next year.
The vibes, I have no clue what's going on, and I'm in.
Yes.
It's interesting because it looks very Inside-esque, but then it looks like it's like slightly 3D. Like look 2D at some points, but then it looks like it kind of the camera goes to the side.
I think it
sometimes.
tilts, but you're still kind of moving side to side.
Yeah.
I have to watch the trailer again, but I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Probably so. But I think that looks cool.
It's gonna be good. That's what it is. It's gonna be good.
Hell yeah, it is. What do we think about the re-reveal of Halo Infinite?
It looks like a Halo game.
I personally don't think that's what they needed to show. Like the multiplayer was fine. It looked like Halo multiplayer, which is
It looks fun.
yeah. But I felt like the reason people were kind of hesitant on it or whatever is because it was the campaign, and we really did not see much of that to show.
Yeah.
Like that was a potential improvement.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand people being like, bro, the game looked really bad last time. Show us gameplay now. But I think what they did show looked really cool, and it intrigued me enough to play the game because I like what they're doing, talking about the Cortana and like, oh, you didn't delete me and stuff like that. Like, the story thing seems cool, but yeah, I do understand that people feel like they need to see what the campaign looks like. But I kind of trust 343 that they're trying to deliver a good package. They've been really upfront with what they like on their blogs and stuff, like talking about the development. So I kind of just trust if they're not ready to show the campaign because they still want to like iron out some kinks. Like that's cool with me. I'm sure they'll show it sometime this year. I know I'm being really lenient on a lot of these things, but a lot of these studios I have faith in, so if they need time to like work on something, I'm willing to give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do think an unfair amount of pressure has been put on Halo Infinite from the jump to be like, it has to be Xbox's like golden goose savior to get them back in the console. And that's been the thing from the even since before Halo Infinite was actually announced. It's just been years of like Halo's been decreasing in popularity, but this has to be the big thing. And I understand because like we all say that, we don't even know what we fucking mean when we say that. I don't know what I mean when I say that. I mean, God of War is kind of the same thing. I never would have dreamt up what God of War became or whatever. And like after that, we're basically like, do a God of War. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? What do you
I think when a lot of people, like including myself, have said that, it's like with God of War, you took like a over the shoulder kind of like button mashing action game and turned it into like a third person like action adventure game. What are you gonna switch Halo into? Like it's still like a first person shooter. It's like I get kind of what people mean when they should say like, oh, Halo Infinite's a 10th pole Xbox Series X game. It delivers a great story and they refine the gunplay. But at the same time, I just need a really cool Halo game.
Well, I think we just have to recalibrate to like that's what it is. And I mean, I think if Halo was a Sony IP or whatever, and Sony's just doing very good with console sales or whatever, I think the current state of Halo, we would not be shit talking it at all. It'd be like, yeah, it's a fun shooter. It's a good Halo game or whatever. I think it just became, it has to be the best possible thing and like turn everything around for them. So I think we need to recalibrate, and it's like, you're not going to play this game, and that's fine. I mean, I think that's what it is. Like this is a game that's going to be like Halo fans and shooter and like maybe some other shooter fans are going to do this.
I would much rather if they focused on pleasing Halo fans rather than everybody.
Yeah, and it's just like Halo has been decreasing in popularity over time with like all the recent games, and unfortunately, even though this game looks fun, I don't see anything that would like stop that trend, if that makes sense. You know, I still think it's going to sell well, but I just don't think this is going to be the like it's going to like start shooting back up in popularity now after this. Even though I'm probably going to play it, it's probably going to be the first Halo game I play in forever. A lot of that is Game Pass though. And the free, I mean, I do, but that being said, I do think the free multiplayer is pretty huge. I think that being free to play will probably bring a lot more people on. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
A Plague Tale Requiem coming out next year.
It's gonna be good. I'm pumped.
Surprise announcement, and also surprising that it's coming day one in the Game Pass. That's a pretty big get.
Yeah, it is. I just played the first one pretty recently, and I liked it a lot. Wasn't crazy with the ending of it. I was kind of mixed on the ending, but the gameplay itself throughout, the storytelling is top notch, and I would love to see what they can do with the new hardware, because they did say it's going to be exclusive to next gen and PC.
Nice. I'm I got it the first one on a sale a while back from PlayStation, so gonna have to get through that at some point.
It's worth it. It's a pretty quick game.
Yeah. Well, luckily I got till next year to do it, so no rush.
Okay, Jacob's gonna join us on Discord.
Whoop whoop.
All right, you just take the driver's seat for a moment, Jeffrey.
Okay, who's excited for Slime Rancher?
It looks sick. I don't have a lot to say about it, but it looks
Yeah.
good. The first one was great.
Nice. Let's see. I was thinking this looked pretty cool. Atomic Heart. You guys remember which one that is? It's the first-person game where a lot of the sci-fi stuff was happening, and Holden thought it was
I thought it was a montage.
yeah, 100 games in one.
Yeah, it kind of seemed all over the place, but it didn't look bad. It looked
Looks
interesting.
intriguing. One of them I would be curious to see more. We're completely diving in, but I guess it's on Game Pass, so can't go wrong with that. I forget what Replaced was.
Yeah, I don't,
Oh, was that the one that Holding hipped on? And I agree
Yes,
with
yeah,
100%.
yeah, it
It was like, this art style is neat.
Oh yeah, it had like the Octopath Traveler art style, but with different character models. But like the world
Yeah.
itself looked like Octopath.
Mm-hmm.
or we're not talking about the Suikoden thing. We're talking about the side. It was like a side scroller thing, right? I mean, like,
Yeah. It was like right before.
Well, I'm
It's that
I've looked at
sci-fi
that
one.
yeah, this was like a sci-fi thing that had like a really cool art style.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember.
I don't know how much more to describe it.
It made a very big impression on us.
Obviously.
Oh yes. This one. All right, I remember now.
Well, how about Grounded? Did we get a release date for Grounded?
No, just a date for the update, which is coming June 30th, and they were being cute about it. Like, it's not happening. Not yet.
Yeah, game looks fun. I don't even know how much they've been adding to it. I haven't honestly really heard anything about it since like when that beta started. Yeah, a long time ago. But, cool. So that Suikoden game, I don't know how to pronounce this.
Ayuden Chronicle. What's cool about this announcement is, other than the whole Game Pass thing, is they technically announced a new game for it, which is Ayuden Chronicles Rising, which is a prequel game. I got the little description up on here from the Steam page for Rising. It's an action RPG set in the same world as Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, the main game. It features town building mechanics, fast-paced combat, and important backstory for several of the Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes cast of characters.
So they're going all in on this thing.
Yep. Also, Darby, yes, as far as the Suikoden stuff, they mention, just to get an idea of what Suikoden is all about, this is the part of the description on the Xbox description for it, where they have the list of all the games. Get ready to lead 100+ playable characters through a war-torn world. Only you can save.
Me?
Yeah.
It's Octopath Fire Emblem.
Yep. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Could be a good
it looks very, very cool. Very, very cool. Love the art style.
Yep.
What was the Ascent?
Oh, it's like the cyberpunk looking top-down game.
Yeah. We've seen that one before. They announced it last year.
Yeah, they did.
Outer Worlds 2 had a real funny trailer. It's a game that exists. That's about it.
Yeah.
Worlds 2.
Flight sim look like flight sim.
And I don't think does anyone here play Forza Horizon.
That presentation was
Nope.
long.
It was very
way
long.
too long.
Very long.
Looks pretty though.
Oh, it's very impressive. Very impressive. And then we had Redfall. It was a very long trailer. New game from Arcane Studios. Seems to be a post-apocalyptic shooting type game with vampires, which is kind of different. They said, if I'm not mistaken, you could play it single player or co-op. Is what they said at the top there for Redfall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
it is a
believe.
4-player co-op thing. I'm curious if it's pretty much Left 4 Dead with vampires.
That's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah.
for sure.
Which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a tone piece, but at least it's memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because at first it just looks like, it's RPG or just a co-op shooter thing, but then the fact there's vampires there at the end. You're gonna remember that trailer basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
and all
whatever.
the powers and stuff. Also, like if it is kind of like that, it helps it set up more than just the vampire stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks all right.
yeah, not a whole lot to go off of.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
It was clearly a CG trailer, so I don't think the game's gonna look like that. And we know it's called Redfall.
I would also like to thank Microsoft for just to make it life easier on me, just putting a graphic with all the Game Pass announcements on one thing. Thank you. So I don't have to go through it and count it by hand.
yeah, we wanna do that.
I appreciate and love you.
Yeah, you can play the entire Yakuza series now, including
Fuck yeah.
Yakuza 7 on Game Pass.
I'll skip right to Yakuza.
Wild. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm kind of surprised Yakuza 7's that quick
Yeah.
to be on there. Like, there's gonna be a lot of people who like bought the game last week who are like, God damn it.
Probably. I think it's on sale a decent amount at this point.
Yeah, well, that was
Before Square Enix starts, I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'll be right back, you guys. Okay.
yeah, that's fine. I might go to be right back for 10 minutes. Go for it. All right, well, thank you, any podcast listeners. We're gonna cut it here, but there should also be a Square Enix conversation in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. So bye, podcast listeners. Peace.
Bye.